the Wauwatosa Gnomes of Wisconsin. I can't even say Wisconsin.
Oh, no.
Oh, is it Wisconsin?
Yeah, the Wauwatosa Gnomes. There's some gnomes there. I haven't looked into it much.
Was that Eric's one?
No, that's his. I didn't even know about him.
I didn't know. That's interesting.
You guys know.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Oh, we're live. Oh,
Ah,
hi everyone.
Straight in.
Yeah, straight in. Straight in. Right, we're going up to Edinburgh today. We're going up to Scotland, and in 1836 in June, some young lads were up on the Arthur Seat, which is just up behind Edinburgh. It's an old volcano, I believe. And they were hunting rabbits, and they found this little cave, and they went in there, and there was 17 tiny coffins, all made of wood, 4 inches big, and it's Hi Sarah. And it's very strange, and they were intricately carved, and obviously there was no plastic then, so they're all carved out of wood, and it still remains a mystery today. A little bit later on, there was another 11 found in the same area.
By Charles.
So there's lots of theories out there where they've, why they were. I mean, like Dan said, I'm going down the witchcraft path, I think.
So.
But who knows? Maybe some viewers can shed some light on it for us, but that's what we're going to have a little chat about tonight. So what do you think? What do you think, Eric?
I don't know about witchcraft, but I couldn't see how, people would carve them out for like people at sea, the sailors. I could see that.
Yeah, that's possible, isn't it?
Because I know that was part of the story that I read. So.
Yeah, there is lots of theories there, and people have made. And another one is that when a youngster, because mortality for children was very, very high back then. They used to die when they were 4 or 5, didn't they? And it could be something to do with the children, they say, but they were all male, I believe, wasn't they? They were all male.
Men. Yeah.
All men.
And they tried to tie them in with the Burke and Hare, the grave robbers, didn't they?
Yeah, that was at the same time, roughly. Yeah, the same time where they were digging people up and killing people, weren't they?
Yeah. And they said perhaps it was like an act of contrition that they were putting them there as a way of, apologising or trying to say sorry or what have you. I can't see that myself.
No.
Hiya, Mary. To me, I think it smacks very much of witchcraft to me.
Hi. Yeah.
Hiya, Mary. It smacks very much of witchcraft to me. I mean, the thing is, they were saying that the coffins were obviously there'd been a lot of effort and work put into them.
Yeah,
there was cloth put on the dolls as well, so it was like proper cloth that that they wound around the dolls, so it acted like looked like clothing. But they were saying that they don't think it was a carpenter that had kind of hollowed them out or sort of whittled or made the coffins. They said that they think it was one person with a person with just a rudimentary carving tool or what have you. But the dolls as well, they said that they think that the dolls were possibly toy soldiers at one point.
Yeah.
Yes. I found that this afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah, I only discovered that this afternoon as well, and I thought that was interesting. That they all some sort of come from the same manufacturer, but the guy I'd kind of dressed them, maybe changed their features or what. Or I say guy, I'm thinking it might be a woman actually, but
who knows? Yeah,
but who knows? That's the thing, isn't it? But I know they said that you're right. I mean, the boys were up at they were on the dunes there. They were up at Arthur's Seat, and I always thought they were found tucked in under a layer of earth or what, but they weren't, were they? They were found
they were stacked up
with a slate there, wasn't it, in front of it? And they removed the slate, and they said when they found the coffins, there were more, but boys being boys, they don't change through history. They decided to lark around and throw them at each other, and a lot of them got smashed up and what have you that way. But they said there was 2 layers. The one at the bottom had been preserved by the layer at the top. the top layer had started to disintegrate, and there was one that was left on the top, which they said was left probably around just not long before the boys discovered it. And they said that one was like in perfect, pristine condition. But I don't know. But another thing that I found, which I thought was quite interesting, is that the old Gaelic or Celtic word for Arthur's Seat, you're right, it's a dormant volcano.
Yeah.
But in old Gaelic or old Celtic, the name of it transcribed or transpired to Dead Man's Rock.
Hi.
Hi, you
No, right.
Dead Man's Rock or Dead Man's Hill as well.
That makes sense.
So that makes sense. So that would make me think Dead Man's Hill, Dead Man's Rock. Is that something to do with witchcraft as well? There's a very sort of esoteric era around it, isn't there? A very sort of, I don't know, almost witchy craft element to it. That's what I mean. I might be completely wrong because nobody really knows, do they? But
no,
it's interesting to sort of ruminate on that and see what you come up with. But it'd be interesting to find out, see if there's any more up there as well, wouldn't it, or anything else that's hidden.
How big is it? How big is Arthur's Seat? I couldn't find.
I have no idea.
What kind of area is it? Does anybody know that?
No, I don't think so.
I know there was a guy that was walking up, a Scottish guy, and he was walking up and he was talking about Arthur's Seat. He was talking about the dolls or the coffins. And he said they said that they found them on the north side, but I don't think they did because looking at the topography of it, I think they found them on the south side. And he was walking up it, and it looked like to be quite an area. So it looked like it was quite not massive, but big enough. And so I often wonder, but then I guess if that's been found up there, people have probably been up there with all sorts of stuff, haven't they? Looking like even stuff like metal detectors and stuff.
Metal detectors, yeah.
Oh, that's another thing they said, didn't they? That what was it? That the metal plate that was found attached to them, and the metal that adorned the coffins was the same plate, lead plate, or the same metal plate that cobblers would use on shoes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So was it a cobbler that had done it, or I don't know.
I'd forgotten that. I'd forgotten that.
But it's just interesting, isn't it? It's interesting to think, well, what could it have been?
You
know, I mean, even a museum today, they still scratching their heads. They still have no idea as to what it was.
Yeah. There's 8 or 9 in the museum there, isn't there? What's left? I wouldn't mind seeing them.
Yeah. It'd be nice. I mean, they remind me very much of the old witchcraft puppets.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to the Witchcraft Museum in Boscastle, you've probably been there, haven't you guys?
Oh, I've been there loads of times.
It's great, isn't it? It's really good, isn't it? It's really great. And like the thing I like about that is you can talk to the people that work there. They're normally, I mean, they are the people that work there. The guy and the woman are, I mean, they're authorities on witchcraft and folkcraft from all around the world. So maybe it was, who knows? It might not have even been British. It might have been a sailor from abroad who put them there, or it could be anybody, couldn't it? I mean, it was Edinburgh's close to the sea. It was the main port at one point. It's close, you know. That Arthur's Seat is, I think, that's not far from the sea itself. So, who knows? They could have been put there by sailors. They could have been put there by anybody. It could have been people that want a ship to go down, and they just stuck them all in coffins and like cursed them all. Who knows? You know, which again is witchcraft and seagoing stuff, but. I don't know, but it's intriguing. And I would like to see them do a sort of what do they call it? Is it, I can't think what it's called now. What? They've got like a big magnet, haven't they, that they go along with, and they step, and then they move, and they step, and it reads the ground.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's it called?
I've seen it on Time Team.
Time Team, yeah.
I've seen it on Time Team. It's like a big magnet thing. It reads the levels in the ground, doesn't it? It can tell you if there's something... what's down there and the shape of it.
It one that, no, I forgot the name of it.
What did you say?
Yep, ground penetrating sonar. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah. No, it's called something else, isn't it? But it is ground penetrating sonar, basically. Yeah, but it's just thanks, Bobby. It's just intriguing. It's intriguing to think what's, and of course who put the I mean, for me, it's who put them there.
Yeah.
You know. It's like, and why, you know? It's like, I mean,
well,
maybe somewhere,
person, is it the families. I mean, obviously the way their cards are made, they would have to be the same person. You would think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? It's intriguing, isn't it? It's like, what does it represent? I mean, who knows? But it's one of those things that will. I think that if they went, well, they probably don't. I mean, they're obviously intelligent people, so they probably checked every aspect and every element out. But maybe try and find somebody who studied folk magic and see if that was something that was significant, because some of it is some of this folk magic that was either done by witches or cunning men was very, hi Tom, was very unique and very it was an artwork or an art that was kept only by certain people and handed down. So maybe it was a particular thing to a certain witch or to a certain person or to a certain element of witchcraft. Just intriguing. It is. Folk magic's amazing. It's so interesting to think what people did.
Yeah.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
I don't know.
It's like everything with the Fae and paranormal. It's all a mystery, really, isn't it?
All a mystery. And you know what? I think the interesting thing is that you think you got an answer, but then you haven't. That'll throw you off in 20 different directions. So it throws a load more questions up. And it's like,
it's mind blowing.
It is. But I think when you look at them, it's like, I mean, somebody's obviously put effort, work, and love into that.
Yeah, because they ain't got the tools, and they created these little things, didn't they? And
yeah,
amazing.
Do you know what I thought first of all? And I thought, no, it can't because they're rudimentary. But then maybe it is. But then years ago, a lot of people didn't have money to get buried in coffins. They got buried in like a shroud, didn't they? Put them in the ground, and that was it. Yeah. But I thought when I first initially saw them, I thought it reminds me of. Do you remember when people used to go for? They'd go for a job as an apprentice, say woodworker or what have you, and they say, "Well, I want to be a cabinet maker." So then they train under a cabinet maker, and then for part of their exam, I mean, this is hundreds of years ago. They'd have to build it was almost like a very small chest of drawers or a wardrobe, but it had to be certain scale to show you their abilities. And I thought, well, is that the coffins? Is that like somebody that?
Yeah, that could be.
But then what are they doing hidden in a rock? And why are there little people in them? It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. So if anybody out there's got any idea what they think these things are,
yeah, come on, let's thrash it out.
Yeah, throw some ideas in, guys.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because we haven't got an idea, and certainly the Edinburgh Museum haven't got any idea. I think they've got probably theories.
Back to the toy soldiers thing, they said that the arms were taken off. You could see where they drilled the hole.
Yes.
Connected to and.
Yeah, to fit in the coffins, weren't they? They'd taken the arms off and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
They said as well that if you look at the feet, where the feet are, the feet are quite heavy looking because they used to, the toy soldiers of the time would have a musket resting on it. So that was attached to the foot. So that is where the mark is. So I guess they know what they were originally. But obviously somebody's taken them and utilised them for something else. Yeah. But then if you're going to buy them, I mean, you must have money as well because toys probably weren't that cheap then, were they?
No. People would struggle just for food, wouldn't they?
Yeah. And, where would you get? I mean, it's odd, isn't it? It's odd. Didn't somebody say as well that there was, you said it earlier, didn't you? High mortality of children. So people thought, is it, is it something to do with the, children that are passed?
Yeah.
But who knows? It's just an odd one. But there's lots of folk magic there's lots of stuff, isn't there, that they know about, and they know that it emanates from folk magic, but they don't know what significance these things have.
No.
I mean, had they been witchy dolls, I would have thought, well, you know what, I would have thought they'd come with things like pins or something.
Yeah, like voodoo type.
Yeah, that type of thing, like the old poppets.
Back then, and in Scotland, in the UK, you know what I mean? That seems more like a Southern America type of thing.
Oh, no, they used poppets over here for sticking things in. Yeah, they did, yeah. I mean, we used to have things over here. A lot of them came from Holland, the bottles.
Wow.
I'd love one. And it's, you can still find bits of them on shores and stuff
Mm.
where the ships came in. The bottles are broken. You can't find a whole one. But they were Dutch, and they're like they're sort of bulbous at the bottom with quite a long neck. They're made of clay. They're quite nice looking bottles, actually, from the sort of 17th century. So you look at the 1600s.
Hi, Lorna.
Hi, Lorna. And these are the things that people used to put, like urine in, hair, pins, coffin nails, fingernails, toenails, anything that could either be seen to curse someone, or sometimes people would put those things in it and put it under a fire, under the hearth. And then because they believed that the only way that witches could get in if you were asleep would be down the chimney. So they used to bury these things by the hearth of the fire.
Yeah.
A friend of mine had a cottage. Do you know what, Annette? It absolutely was. It was.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing because, hi, Nicola.
Hi,
The thing
Nicola.
about folk magic as well is that, like, cunning men, which are male witches, really, and they were, and even people that were considered to be witches at the time, which are kind of, to me, they seem like what do you call them? Like midwives and stuff.
Yeah.
Today you class them as a midwife or stuff like that, you know. But those people at the time that were very good at herbal medicine, they were very good at reading the weather. They were nature people, weren't they? They could read nature like a book, you know. They knew by looking out the window what the day would bring. Even to the point that it was considered spooky stuff that, you know, they could read things like tea leaves and all this sort of stuff. But I think that those people, even though there was witchcraft, they seeked men out, but mainly women during the sort of 17th century to sort of hang as witches, or abroad it was to burn them. A lot of those cunning men and a lot of those women that were considered to be midwives, particularly the men, they would let them go. And the reason they let them go is because they considered them more beneficial to society than it would be taking them out and hanging them for a witchcraft, which is a weird, but I don't know how they perceived it, but it's a weird thing, you know. But folk magic, like you say, it is amazing, and it was done for communities. It was done for protection and the health of communities. You know, they provided a very good service for people that otherwise wouldn't be able to see a doctor or a nurse, or if there were nurses at the time, but wouldn't be able to see a doctor or a surgeon or whoever. So, yeah, they were very much needed.
Have too. Do you think that these coffins were, if they're all the same kind of thing, right? Okay, obviously they're done by one person. So is it the person that was what do you call them? Person that buried people type of thing.
Yeah, like a funeral director or a grave digger.
Or that did these way back then, you know, for each one that he had buried from that village or whatever.
He might have, you know. It either seems to me to be either witchcraft, or it smacks very much of either not witch. If it's not witchcraft, the only other thing I could think would be like a serial killer.
Yeah.
I've got that down here. Serial killer.
Yeah.
And they crafted one for each of the victims.
Everyone for each of his victims, you know. I mean, we know today, don't we, that serial killers collect an item. They take what they call a trophy, don't they?
Trophy.
So those dolls are the clothing that they're swathed in. Are those bits of clothes off of the victims?
Could be.
Yeah.
You know? It's very odd. Very odd.
Mm.
But I mean, magic's still rife today, isn't it? Lots of people practice it today, you know.
So God
knows how many did then.
Did you go back?
Yeah, it was a big thing back then. They used to put a cat in the wall, didn't they, and things like that.
They used to put live cats as well, didn't they? And let them die for house protection.
Yeah.
House protection, wasn't it?
Yeah.
House protection, like horse skulls. They would put them under the floor, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So it was all forms of like magical protection, you know. But these things that they put on doors. I mean, I've seen doors when I've done work in houses over the years. These ancient houses or old houses going back to the sort of some of the 1600s, 1500s, and they've got what we call, it's not that, it's something else, but we call them sort of witch circles. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah. Oh, 5:19 a.m.
Wow, you are always up early. Mind you, bless you, you're not very good, are you, at the minute?
Hadn't told me that.
What was that, Lorna?
The cats in the walls and the horse head, you know, skull.
Yeah, they did all that.
Yeah,
they did all that.
Isn't the one at the Ram Inn?
Yeah.
There's a cat that, yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with. I think that was more. There's a what do you call it at the Ramming? There's a pagan grave.
I seem to remember. I watched one the other day where there was a mummified cat
Yeah,
that was taken out the wall at the Ramming.
Yep.
Well, they said it was out the wall. I think it was bolt or given.
Oh, right.
I think. But I know they got there's bones that they took out of the pagan grave. In actual fact, it's interesting because I did an investigation. I've done a few investigations here now, and one that I did, we got a child's. It was meant to be a child's grave, and we got a child giggling when we were talking over the grave on a voice recorder. You could hear him giggling, but you could hear him audibly as well. So it was like we looked at each other when it happened.
What, in real time?
Yeah, we looked at each other. What was that? What was that? What do we think it is? And then we played back the EVPs, and it was a child giggling. It was so.
I've heard of somebody else getting that as well.
Yeah,
but that place, it seems you watch something and nothing happens at all, and then another time it goes nuts at the Ramming.
Do you know what? You're right. I've been in there when you could quite easily go to sleep in there and not get disturbed, and then I've been in there at night where you hear all sorts of things.
Well, that's a couple nights, that way you get that many hours of investigation in. So
I think with the thing is with a lot of paranormal investigators, I'm going off subject a bit, but bring it back on the minute.
Yeah.
I think they turn up at one investigation, or they turn up at you turn up and you've got limited time. You've got maybe 6 hours, 8 hours tops. And they do. That's it, Nettie. Exactly it.
Yeah.
And people walk away and say, "Yeah, I'm not doing that because it's not haunted." Well, you've been there 6 to 8 hours. You're not going to know. See you over the weekend, Jay. As I always said, for us to get anything really tangible and good and quality for an investigation, you got to do it over a course of months, even years, if you can.
Yeah.
And it
build things up, then, can't you? With
we did an old. It was an old church tucked in the middle of the woods, and we didn't get anything from that until we'd been there a year. And then after about 9 months, it started to give little bits. Because I think, like anything, they want to get used to you, don't they?
Yeah. People go there, don't they? And they go, light the ball up, and they must think, oh, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. It's like a dog, isn't it? It's like getting a dog to jump a hoop, and it's like they're not dogs.
Yeah. They don't want to.
People, for God's sake.
Well, they want to ask sensible questions.
Yeah. And one
not like that ball up.
You're dead.
Right.
Well, they've been there for 400 years. I think they got a fucking good idea. Do you know what I mean? They got a rough idea.
Yeah.
Well, good taking it that I agree with you, but I'm still going to be doing the same thing because I'm bringing my REM ball.
Oh, we all do it.
Oh, yeah.
We know.
Yeah, we do it. We do it. But it's a tool to get, questions, yes or no. But some people will just go, oh, go on, light the ball up.
Yeah.
That's as far as it goes,
Yeah. Well, can you do me a favour? Can you move that from there to there? I can tell you they're not going to do that. I can tell you they won't do that. But no, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Like Nettie says, they say, "Oh no, not again." I'm like,
yeah.
But no. So Lorna what did Lorna say? When has or was that ever thought cruel? I think back in the day, Lorna, that people didn't see it as cruel because it was a harsh life, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a very hard life, and people were fearful of everything. And I think the church made them a lot fearful of a lot of stuff.
Definitely.
So they still, I don't think by that period, and even a lot today, people hadn't removed themselves far. Even though the church had thought that they'd done their job and they'd got people to commit to Christianity, I think that people still erred on the side of paganism. So that was still strong, particularly at the time, and even today. And I think that's why those arts were still practiced, because they didn't have the money to be protected. There wasn't anybody out there to watch their back. So if you've got a family, horrible as it is, and you've got a live cat, or you get a live cat, if you think that that's all that's going to protect you, and maybe it does, I don't know, you're going to try that.
So I think they waited until the cat passed and then did it.
Sorry?
They waited until the cat passed and then put it in the law.
Maybe.
When it's what? The cat's passed? I can't hear you.
I think they waited until the cat passed away.
No.
No,
No, they put them in live. Yeah, over here they put them in live. I'm guessing they did that. I mean, you know, there's cats being found everywhere in a lot of these old ancient buildings, aren't they? They dig a
Yeah.
wall out and they'll find a cat in there or what have you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, it's horrible. Of course, it's horrible and it's horrendous. But we can't use the same. See, this is the thing. We can't hold people from centuries ago to the same standards that we are today.
yeah,
No,
We just can't do
True.
that. It'd be wrong to do that. You know.
definitely.
What, religion didn't come a thing until around the 13th century, 15th century. So
Yeah, the church. I mean, the church have been beating people over the head with fear for many, many centuries.
Mm.
You know. Yeah, Lorna,
Yeah,
it's a lot of it is through fear, which is why these. I mean, we look at them and they look sinister. They look like they're dodgy. They might not be. These dolls might be absolutely, you know, to the memory of somebody, or even a
Yeah.
ship that went down. Perhaps somebody, you know,
Yes.
perhaps. I mean, I'm maybe right or I'm probably wrong, but even things like shipping companies.
yeah,
So that
Mm.
they had a good voyage and they weren't, you know, that they didn't have bad luck. If a ship went down with all hands on deck, maybe they thought, well, you know what, if we make an honor or we make you know, we make some form of, not sacrifice, but we make some sort of
An offering.
offering. Exactly, Tim, offering to them. You know,
Yeah.
maybe that'll protect us from, you know, maybe they've seeked out the advice of a wise man or a wise woman or a
Mm.
cunning man or a witch, you know, how we can protect the company. Because there was a lot, I mean, suspicion and fear that people were run by it then, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know?
And you said there was like originally 17 of them, right? So they had,
Yeah,
More than that,
17.
apparently, at one point they were saying, whether that's true, I don't know.
I don't know.
There was 17, and then they found another 11, but I don't know.
Another 11.
So like,
I couldn't find out where.
No. No, so I'm assuming they must
One
have found
person-
on half the seat somewhere, but in a different. So there's clearly
Mm.
something going on there, isn't there?
yeah,
Yeah.
same person that owned all the toy soldiers in order to make them like that. So
Yeah, they bought a job lot, or they bought them as they've gone, but children couldn't really afford stuff like that, could they? I mean, children's toys years ago, but they didn't have them, or they were made by, I don't know, made by somebody who lived in the village or whatever, or with the family. All religion, no matter what, it uses security. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Nettie. Exactly. Well, if you got your people are fearful, it's easier to control them, isn't it?
oh yeah,
Mm.
that's what it was done for. That's why they took a lot of the I know, going back off the subject again, that's why they took a lot of the books out of the Bible.
Yeah, but they don't want you thinking for yourself, do they?
Mhm.
They don't want you going and trying, you know, if you try something like folk magic or stuff like that, you know, you might have the answers. They don't want you to have the answers. They want you to be terrified, follow the line, as it were. But I don't know. It's intriguing. I'd like to. Well, I wonder if they've done anything. Not that they'd find anything, but I wonder if they've done any like X-rays on them to see if there's anything inside them. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see if there's like, and if there's one of them with nail clippings and hair clippings and all that in it, or
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
over here I can see in the picture looks like he's got some sort of cotton or bedding or whatever behind it.
Yeah. Well,
What's that made from?
you gotta
I tried to find out what they were carved from, but
Couldn't find
you know,
it.
'cause that could give you a clue,
It
maybe.
could.
If it was,
Good
you know,
thinking.
if it was a pine tree or an oak tree, or
Or even if it was a tree from abroad.
exactly, yeah, it could have
Yeah, it's
been.
good thinking, Tim.
could have been driftwood from the ocean, you know, this ocean.
Yeah. Or
But
maybe made out
I
of the wreck
couldn't
of a
find
ship.
anything.
Yeah.
One of it's made out of the wreck of a ship.
Yeah,
You know.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like reading about folk magic. What book you got, Nettie? I've got a couple here somewhere. Folk magic's interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
Emma's well into her fae and folk, and
Yeah, she's the same, isn't she? She's Emma's
Yeah.
the same, isn't she? As us
she's
lot,
always
so-
that. Since she saw that fairy down in Clovelly, she's
About that.
well into it.
do you know what? I know it sounds they're real. They're real.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. Oh, thanks, Nettie. I'll have a look for that. Thank you. I haven't got that
Folk
one.
Magic
That's good.
Bible.
Folk Magic Bible.
Yep, Folk Magic
Used to
Bible.
have religion in the school system here, but not anymore. Same as history, control the kids do. Well, that's to say, you're right. History, they always say, don't they? History's written by the winners and the conquerors.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, there's a lot of these people coming out now, not necessarily scientists, but people that are considered to be top in their field, are saying that what we think we know about history is completely wrong.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that at all, and it's not just our history, this is like a global history. So interesting. But I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think they're fantastic things. I think they're amazing things, those little dolls. I think they're really, really cool.
Well,
It might be I might actually phone up the Bodmin Museum and say to him, what do you think?
But if that's two pictures of them, you can see the age of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, at the very
one looks more like a stick figure type of thing.
So you're looking at getting on for 200 years old at least, aren't they? Really?
Yeah. Well, 1836 they were found. I don't know how much older than that they were, but
I should have done more investigating. Like, how long ago was the first toy soldier made?
Well, they were saying that the last one that they found was in really good condition, like it had only been put in the last few years prior.
So then, well, you can tell the progressive of the age of the toy soldier itself. I mean, like I said, one's more like a stick figure, so obviously that's older, and then the newer one looks like he has boots, pants, whatever.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
more detail on it.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's a shipping company trying to protect protect themselves.
Yeah, could be.
Just ask Zach B. Yeah, we'd get sense from him, wouldn't we?
Who's that?
Zach Bagans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I might phone up the Witchcraft Museum tomorrow, actually. Because they're very good there. To see what they think. So, what do you think? Oh, they might say, piss off, or what you're on about, you're talking shit. But it's worth finding out if they've got an idea. I mean, at the very least, they'll give you an idea, the sort of magic that they wouldn't use them, but they'd use these. Oh, you think?
Hey,
So, yeah, it's intriguing. But I'd like to know what else is up there, because, well, I suppose everybody's been all over every bit of it now, haven't they, searching for stuff.
I would have thought so. You'd have had people metal detecting up there and everything, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was quite interesting the lads have gone up there rabbiting.
Yeah, they wanted
to get food, didn't they?
They want some food, didn't they?
Exactly.
Well, then
you can imagine their dad saying, "Go on, you get up there and get some dinner."
Yeah, exactly.
Then
I couldn't find any dinner, Dad, but I brought these back. He
brought soldiers back. Well, it's amazing they survived. It's amazing they survived, I think.
It is. I'm glad the museum's got them, because they did go into private hands at one point. And that means that people just wouldn't get to see them.
Yeah.
And
you said you'd seen them, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah. We did a thing. Do you know what? It was one of the things I put at the back of my mind. And I was watching a couple of videos, and I kept thinking, I'm sure they had them at the Edinburgh Museum, but I can't swear to it, and I didn't check it out. And then I was watching a video today, and this Scottish guy went into it. He said, "Oh, they've got me now at the Edinburgh Museum," and he went round the back to a little glass cabinet built into the wall, and they're in that. And I thought, yes, I've seen them. I saw them when we were there, and I remember somebody saying to me, "You want to go and look at those dolls?" But until you mentioned it last week, totally forgot about them. I totally forgot about them. And then when you mentioned it, I thought, oh yeah, I remember something vaguely about that. Then looked it up, and it was like, it's a great subject, Tim. Great subject to pick, because I think it's one of them subjects that there's no answer to it, is there?
No.
Well, they traveled from the kids bringing them home, whatever was left out there, they threw them at each other, and then they stayed so many years there, and then one guy got them in his collection, and then
Yeah, I think they ended up back at the museum, at Edinburgh Museum, which is a fantastic place to end up, because A, they're back home, and B, they're back where people can see them. It was about 1900. So you're looking at maybe they were in private collection before that for I don't know how long and when they were bought, but somebody bequeathed them or they'd just given them to the museum back for the collection. So that was good.
I had
Comfrey Beat beer, no clothes originally now, no Humpty Beat beer. Was on both. Yeah. Yeah, it's true, Kelly. Yeah, a lot of these things go in out of fashion for one reason or another, don't they? You know, they're not considered safe or somebody's insulted by it.
Teletubbies.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It's bad, isn't it? Same as
So you can't have nothing.
I'm like a Teletubby, Kelly. I'm shaped like a Teletubby.
I am as well.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm not saying it.
If I was a Teletubby, I'd be called Oh No. Oh No. Oh No.
Oh no.
Hiya, William. I hope you're well.
I will.
You and your good lady wife. Hope you're doing great.
No clothes.
But yeah, it's an interesting subject. You know, hopefully, Nettie will be able to find some information about maybe like pertaining to these things in her book. You know, I'll have a look up.
Yeah.
See what's in it, because
I bet there is stuff in there about them in that
somebody.
book.
I mean, yeah. I mean, even if it's something like you know, it's probably a family that have. There you go. Oh, you haven't you?
Tinky Winky,
Do you know what? I've still played my Tinky Winky on occasion.
I'm at olive oil, but no Popeye.
Oh, Popeye. Hey, nothing wrong with olive oil.
But no Popeye.
No. She was
Popeye
hot.
would be Popeye without olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like, you know, I don't know. It's just intriguing. But I would like to. I'd like to see them up close. I'd like to be able to hold one and look at it and see. I think that'd be interesting to see exactly what they've got. You know,
there's not a lot of info. I couldn't find everything. Just repeated in when I researched it.
Do you know what's happened? Don't you?
Hmm.
I reckon what's happened is this is probably a tradition of someone's great grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Or we've got to go up there, probably maybe folk magic, whatever. I don't know what the reason is. Put them up there, stick them here, we'll put them there. And then the family have moved to America. So somebody in America probably knows exactly what they are, or somewhere else in the world, Canada, America, know exactly what they are because their great grandmother. Something's been handed down traditionally or orally. And you get somebody come back to the museum and go, oh, I know what they are. They were my great grandmothers. We moved to America like a couple of centuries ago, so that's why people lost the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any more anywhere else in the world.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's because if they were done by a sailor or sailors,
they'd be all over the place.
They'd be all over the place. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with folk magic that I find quite intriguing is that. Thanks, Nettie.
Hey, Chantel.
Hi, Chantel. Good to see you. I think that's the thing with folk magic, which I find really interesting. Is this is what they say? Oh, you know what? People have only got to a certain part of the planet at this time, and people didn't get here till then, and they only got here like a couple of millennia ago, and these people only arrived 1,000 years ago or 800 years ago. And you look back and you think, yeah, but is that true? Because archaeologists and historians will tell you that, but then they'll go and dig something up and find out that those people were trading and working together a lot longer than they think.
Yep.
So it's like, we thought there was 800 years ago, but it turns out it was over 1,000 years ago. So I wonder, when you look at folk magic, a lot of it may be slightly tweaked and different in that sense, but it's exactly the same. Its core value, wherever it is in the world, folk magic is very similar. So something from Africa, something from America, something from, I don't know, South America, something from
Germany.
Congo, something from, you know, in the middle of the Amazon tribe there that practice things, still very similar to the folk magic that is practiced here. So it makes me think people have been trading a lot longer or have been connected a lot longer globally than we're told.
Yeah.
You know?
And you get these carvings, like, what do you call them? Figurines.
Yeah.
Of like, you'll see one in South America, but they got some that's similar in Europe.
Yeah.
So then, how is that possible without them?
Yeah.
Traveling between the two.
It's like the Green Man, isn't it? You can find effigies of green men in Asia.
Yeah.
You know,
I was
India,
looking at
places
that the
like
other
that.
day. Yeah,
South
Wellington
America.
Green Man. Wellington
You know?
Green Man.
Exactly. So it's kind of it makes me think that these people have been a lot connected, a lot longer than people think.
Yeah,
You know, and that's why these folk magic and these traditions are just tweaked different, but they're very similar. You know, even practicing voodoo. You know, some of that is folk magic, isn't it? Some of that is similar to a lot of the stuff that you see today. The entire world at one point would have practiced folk magic, and only difference like in culture. Yeah, and that's the interesting thing, Nettie, that it slightly differentiates, slightly, but it's still the same essence.
Yeah,
I find that fascinating.
The Vikings actually went to America, didn't they?
Yep,
they did. Have you seen
So
now? They came out
it
the other
wasn't
day.
Columbus. It wasn't Columbus at all.
No. Have you seen what they discovered the other day?
No.
They think the Celts got there before the Vikings because they found Celtic markings.
Wow.
Stones. So they think the Celts got there prior to the Vikings. These people have been practicing together forever. As Ande tribe of Africa practice witchcraft, but they can differentiate between witchcraft and things that happen without magic. Yeah. See, that's interesting. So things, slight differences, but still same principles. It's amazing, which is why I think when people that study magic or they look into magic, it's great to look at magic from your own backyard and your own culture. But I think it's good to study it or look into it from other cultures, and because it's interesting, isn't it? You think, I can see the connection now, or I can see that. It's just interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah,
or maybe,
really is.
maybe because everything on this planet is connected, maybe subconsciously, or maybe we're communicating with each other across oceans and what have you, and that's why we've got the same traditions but similar, but slightly different, like the magic.
Yeah, like remote viewing.
Yeah,
people maybe used to do that all the time.
Yeah, or we're at the core.
Well, they can be anywhere. They can be anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't know. It's nobody knows, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Earthing, yeah. Exactly, Kelly. But it's just amazing. I think it's amazing. Be good to be able to speak to some of these people that practice it.
Yeah.
And find out what their what's
what
that?
I'm
looking at those fairy coffins, and with what I'm reading, that they might be depictions of it. Yeah, we said that.
Yeah,
but they said that the problem was that one of them escaped being hanged, didn't he? But the other one got hanged, and one went off. And they said the only thing that is that the time that those were being planted, one of them was already hanged.
Oh, wow.
So they think that maybe it wasn't, but that's not saying that it couldn't be other grave diggers or grave robbers that put them there.
It was right. They used to make a lot of money, didn't they? I read that Burke and Hare had the equivalent today of 150,000 to 250,000 pounds.
Yeah,
they made from it the equivalent amount.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting because the doctor said to them, like, the fresher the better, didn't they? So I mean, they went out murdering people, didn't they?
Yeah, they started off nicking from the graves, and then in the end, they started killing people, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, there was even one that was murdering kids because some doctor said, "Well, I want the anatomy of. I want to see the child. I want to see the difference in the anatomy of a child at a certain age and as it grows into an adult." So that was. Yeah, they did. They did take his skin. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, isn't it? It's intriguing, But I think it's probably. I mean, I'm not no expert clearly, and I'm not. I'm probably talking rubbish, but to me, it smacks very much of folk magic.
Oh,
without a doubt, William. I will tell you now, without a doubt, I believe completely that they do. They do exist.
Well,
without a doubt.
Well, yes.
The other day, I sometimes go and pick me. I'll go and pick my granddaughter up from school. And we walk back. It's about a mile walk, and there's a lovely little bit where we walk through, and out of the blue, I don't know whether she got it from her mum or what, but out of the blue, she said, "I sometimes talk to fairies along this bit."
She might do.
Do you know what I mean? I thought, oh, but she's 7, so
She might do.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
She might very well do.
7.
Yeah.
Kids, if anybody's going to be able to talk to them, they're going to be open to anybody. I think they'll be open to children.
Well,
Because
yeah.
they're innocent, aren't they? Children are just pure and lovely.
Well,
So
that's
they're
Mm.
going to want to
that
communicate with children.
imagination, and I don't.
What's that, Eric?
It said I think he's going along that might be her imagination talking like that, but
Could be.
you gotta realize that at 7 you're more open to stuff, so she could actually be talking to fairies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, you know, they're definitely there. I believe them completely. You know, I think without a doubt they're there. Lorna, lovely age of 7, but also the age, and also them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
that is
And I have
yeah, that is right.
and I
Look
have
at me at my age, and I still believe
There's
them.
no such thing as them. There's no such thing as that.
You know what? Leave them believe. It's innocent, isn't it? Leave them believe that for as long as they can. They want.
Like Father
Thanks,
Christmas, isn't it? Like Father
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Hey.
Hello.
Hazel don't know about. She thinks it's a bloke in a fat suit. It's me.
it is.
What are you saying about Father Christmas? I don't understand what this is all
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
What is that?
Father
No,
Christmas.
saying-
I've seen him.
Tim said it, not me.
I've seen him in the sky.
Eric said it.
That's good. We have impressionable children next door.
I've literally seen him walk down the street during the summer.
There you go.
In the
Drunk.
summertime.
Yeah.
It's hot in that suit.
God.
Next
Oh, we got
White beard, big hair, rosy cheeks, everything.
well he used to have a green suit, didn't he?
He
Yeah.
did, yeah. Yeah, I think was it a Coke ad or something that made them change to red?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a Coca-Cola changed the outfit to red, didn't they, to fit their adverts?
Oh God, did they? Fairies do exist.
Exactly,
although
William.
you'd be very lucky to
Exactly.
see them with the naked eye. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. That turned my daughter. As soon as she saw one, that was it. She's right on the path now.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
Mm.
Do you know what? I think that kids should grow up with that, you know? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, what was that? Well, sorry, Eric, what was that? I look at it from this point of view. They show themselves to children because of the innocence. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're not
And
going to
you get
hurt
older-
them, are they?
People are jaded, aren't they? And you know what? Adults aren't particularly nice.
No, they'd want to
I
catch
heard
one, wouldn't they?
that it was Coca-Cola. Yeah, that's what I heard that as well, Lorna. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I believe, that I'd read it somewhere or seen it somewhere. Sorry, Tim, you were saying, sorry.
If some adults, they'd want to catch one, wouldn't they? And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you don't know. People are not. A lot of people are horrible, aren't they? But there's a lot, of
them
decent
are.
people, but a lot of them are vile. you
Yeah.
know? And it's like Bigfoot, isn't it? I remember watching
Oh yeah,
thing about Bigfoot, and he was on this guy was on of all things, he was hosting a paranormal show, and he had 2 people on there, and one of them was a parapsychologist. No, 2 of them were parapsychologists.
You're
And
gonna
this
come.
guy turned around and said, "Somebody said I'll go Bigfoot at the back door, but I didn't, And he said, "Well, I'd have gone out. Why didn't you shoot it?" It's like, well, the parapsychologist went, "Well, why would you want to shoot it?" Well, he went for evidence. He went, "So you would kill an innocent being for just to get yourself a bit of evidence?"
yeah,
Makes no sense, does it?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Lorna. Be cruel to it because they can't help themselves, can they?
No,
I've seen him stuck in many places.
Ooh.
Hi, Space, SPACE. Good to see you.
Santa.
Exactly, Kelly.
Santa.
Father Christmas, we call him over here.
yeah.
Saint. Well, yeah, that's different, isn't it? You guys call him Saint Nick, and we call him Santa, don't you?
Hi, Willow. Hello. How are you? Good to see you in the chat, Lou.
Right?
A few tonight. That's good.
It is.
Mm.
Good subject, see? You picked a good subject, Tim. You've done well there, mate.
Yeah. There's not really a lot you can say about it because it's all the research it just comes up with the same stuff. I don't know why it's not been researched more, to be honest. It's like the wood. I'd really like to know what wood they're carved from, so that would give you a clue.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you were saying that earlier. You were saying,
Yeah,
find out where they've been, and like you could connect them to anywhere in the world, couldn't you? From that, it could be a exotic wood or anything, couldn't they? Really?
yeah,
So Viv
yeah.
says
Like,
some folklore suggests that fairies have faded or retreated from the world due to the spread of modernisation. Yeah, exactly, Viv, and the loss of
yeah,
belief in the magical. This theme reflects concerns about the loss of wonder and the disconnect. Yeah, exactly. And I think that particularly, I think within the last sort of 70 years since that is such a shame. It is, Viv. I think particularly in the last sort of 70, maybe 80 years, 1950s, say, not even that, 60 or 70 years, where all of a sudden science took hold. And then all of a sudden, if things were, we were evolving very rapidly with technology. And I think people felt that, oh, well, that stuff's old hat now. We don't need to believe in that. We've got science. So in effect, science became their new god.
yeah.
But what they don't realise is that this thing predates way before science, and it'll be around forever. Yeah, some of them have been talking quite a bit. Yeah, Tim.
It must be
space.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
Massive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that could be the same with things like Bigfoot, couldn't it? Or Dogman. That they're members of the Fae.
Yeah.
They're said to be sort of 12, 14, 15 feet, some of them.
Oh, we were talking about that yesterday with William. So
yeah, so you just don't know.
Oh, yeah. What a fantastic talk that was last night's show. Yeah.
Interesting, wasn't it? It was good to show last night.
Yeah, yeah.
Carl, apparently.
Oh, Carl. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Carl. Are you over here, Carl? Are you in America or wherever, Australia or
no, he's England. Is England, I believe.
Good.
I believe so. Yeah. So we had some from Australia tonight, and
he's in
all over.
Oh, you're not far from us.
Essex, yeah.
Lorna Nicol, Nostradamus, I think, mentioned a big hill we have here, which is now a cemetery called. What's that? I'm going to ruin that.
Tom the
Hurick, Hill of the Fairies. Lots of folklore connected to it. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they're global, aren't they? They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear of the Fae are everywhere, aren't they?
Very similar.
They're everywhere. Tom the Hurick.
In England and Scotland and Ireland.
Ireland predominantly, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
Ireland's big.
You had to be Highland to pronounce it. You're probably right, Lorna. Yeah. That's me out then.
She's from.
I'm terrible. I can't say Wisconsin, can I? Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. You got me out now.
It's like Worcestershire.
The Americans. What do you call Worcestershire? Worcestershire. I believe far more in humanistic science that takes in culture and live life and customs. Yeah, because do you know what they don't realise? It's all interconnected, Nettie.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. We're all interconnected.
What they call science is magic in a lot of sense.
Well.
So Viv says, I am from the underworld itself. I am the devil's sister, LOL. Yeah, we know that, Viv. We know that, Viv. We know that. So, yeah, it's intriguing. It's interesting. But I'd like to find out more, about these fairy coffins.
Well, magic science thing. Now I'm finding out that a lot of scientists are saying magic is the only science we don't understand yet. So,
well, do you know what? There's a lot of scientists now coming out and saying, you know what, we might have had this wrong.
Yep.
And they're believing in the esoteric. They're believing in things like a god, a creator. They're believing in things like a life after death and the existence of the soul beyond the body. So, and these are like, these are, you would never have got that years ago because they'd be terrified to be ridiculed and lose their job. But now they're like, you know what? I'll put it on the table. I'm happy to say it now. Yes, Nettie, in history, it's the ordinary everyday lives of folks I want to know about, not the kings and queens, etc. Exactly, Lorna. Exactly. People like ourselves we want to know about. I think the fey-looking human came about through seeing dragonflies and grass. drinking during the early sun.
I've
Oh, that's
actually,
interesting.
I've actually
Yeah.
seen I turn
That's
in.
interesting.
Did you hear me?
Hiya, Charles. Sorry, Eric. What'd you say?
I said
Sorry, Eric.
a video of a dragonfly turning into a fairy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you
I
got
wouldn't
that? Have
mind
you
seeing
seen
it.
it?
Huh?
I
Yes.
haven't.
No, I haven't. Can you find it and show us? Not now, obviously, but
Well, you're gonna have to look on my favorite show again, Paranormal.
is it on YouTube at all, or is it on YouTube, Eric?
No, Paranormal Caught on Camera on
Oh, yeah, they catch
Oh,
got
your
good stuff on
favourite
there, don't they?
program. Mm.
Did I say hello, Eric? Good, Charles. Hello, good evening, Charles. Hope you're good.
Yeah.
Seeing other world beings usually involves the third eye meditation. I've written a huge manuscript on astral meditation that involves using crystals and gemstones.
Wow, that's
That's
interesting.
interesting. That's interesting.
And then we'll Google.
Go on Dragonfly and Moonlight. Oh, okay. I will do. Thank you for that.
Dragonfly
We'll
and
definitely do
Moonlight.
that.
Yeah. Well, there's an actual guy over there in England that filmed it with his kids out in the park. So you got to be
Listen,
assuming
This
that.
world is world's amazing, isn't it? We don't we see a small fraction of it. I think we know for a fact, don't we, that we only perceive less than a tiny amount of what we see, or what we think is everything, is a tiny amount of the full spectrum. So Viv says, my Sikh grandfather taught me how to meditate and the power of intention, and took me to a lot of festivals and temples. He made me learn old traditions and concepts, which led me down the mediumship path. But just shows you that old tradition. Well, this is it.
Yep.
This is what we say, you know, and it's not that far away from anywhere else in the world. Check out Reverend Robert Kirk book, The Secret Commonwealth of Elves, Fauns and Fairies Room. Oh, definitely. Yeah, thanks for that, Liam.
1691. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Liam. I'll have a look at that for that one.
I'll have to look at that later. Write it down. Should be writing this down now.
Poor old Rita. She's not your secretary. Poor woman.
No.
We're going to take the minutes.
Rita, you should be writing this down.
No, I said
cheek.
writing it down.
Poor woman.
She doesn't do
Doesn't do a lot. She keeps you in line.
Yeah. Somebody's got to, haven't they?
Oh, someone's got to. He'll be out of hand. When he's over here, we're going to get him out. And we're going to.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to. We'll be like the
Have a
terrible
proper
threesome.
Proper pint of beer, Eric.
I can't drink beer.
Oh, Liam does tours around Tom Lahuric. So sorry. Please forgive me for butchering that. No, I don't mean to. It's just my Tom Lahuric. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Secret Commonwealth.
So, Liam, what's the story? Do you know the story with the fairies around Tom Lahuric or Tom Lahuric? Sorry, I'm sorry.
You're as bad as me.
Yeah, elementals. I call them elementals. Yeah, it's interchangeable, isn't it? I think, yeah. I've just found out they were symbolised for honorific burial. I've turned out they were symbols for honorific. What was that, Nettie? I'm lost now. Sorry.
Hold on.
It's basically alchemy, because everything in life is... Yeah, alchemy's definitely... Yeah, symbolise
honorific burial.
Okay, now you do it.
Alchemy, because everything in life is centered in alchemy. Yeah, it is. Sorry, Liam. There you go. So cool.
Elementals, yeah.
Elementals is, yes, perfect. I always refer to them as nature spirits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, elementals, nature spirits. I mean...
Or our little brothers and sisters. I like referring to them like that.
Who said that? You did, or
me? Yeah, our little brothers and sisters. I like to call them.
Yeah.
Hey guys, don't forget, where there is the good, there is also the bad. No one wants to acknowledge the dark side. Yeah, fairies. Yeah, well, you don't want to bugger about with them. Let's just say that good and evil, the balance of life and being. Yeah, never get into a deal with them. Never go down and. If you're invited somewhere, be careful. In fairness, these legends came in times when people were far more stupid and lacked knowledge. Yeah. Doesn't mean they're not real, though.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't mean they're not real. And I think that people years ago were probably a lot more clued up than a lot of people are today with all of their knowledge.
Well, and I think they were more in touch with nature. I mean, you had to be. You didn't have.
Definitely.
They lived
Yeah, yeah.
forests. Everything was forested.
Mhm.
You could ride through England from one end to the next, and you would never leave the forest.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
going back like 700-800 years.
Mm.
You know, it was all forested.
Oh yeah, I believe that. I got a book. Which one are you reading, Dan?
No, I was just looking at the Viv's one again. But
Oh.
no, it's fine. So Lorna says they weren't at the time. What was that? Sorry. Lorna says they weren't. There was one before. Sorry. They weren't at the time, though. People will be saying the same about us one day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
There's a few stories they'll centre around the idea of the great fairy hall within the hill where the fairy queen resided.
Mhm.
See, that sounds very much like Glastonbury Tor,
Yeah.
in
doesn't
that,
it? With the fae living in Glastonbury Tor.
Yeah.
Interesting, though. It's interesting. But yeah,
oh,
So-
coming up on. Oh,
I disagree with space. People were not so stupid back then. Back then there were greater minds. We've lost a lot of science and knowledge due to look at the builders of the pyramids. Yeah, exactly. People. It's like the Dark Ages. When people say the Dark Ages, it's like, and people get this idea that it was like, oh, we're all going around clubbing each other. It wasn't like that at all. They were very cultured and very intelligent, and they you know, more than people give them credit for. And it's the same with, I think, you know, even people aren't stupid. I
yeah.
don't think people are stupid. There's, like you said, Eric, they're more connected to nature.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you
Could have
didn't.
been made by families to commemorate
Well-
their dead. Yeah, could have. Nettie, could have.
The Neanderthal had to be, didn't they?
Yes.
Else they wouldn't have lived long.
No. Exactly. Exactly. They would. Yeah. Exactly. An Irish gardener won't cut down hawthorn because they believe little people. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
built a road round Hawthorne,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Yeah. At the cost of like literally hundreds of thousands of pounds because they didn't want to piss off the fairies.
Yeah.
That's cavemen.
Well-
There was a hierarchy. Yeah. They weren't the mugs people think they were.
No.
Like Tim says, they wouldn't have survived very long.
No, they weren't. That they would have
You
to
know, I'll tell you what. If you stuck us next to a caveman today, we wouldn't even know where to begin,
be.
and they would thrive.
Mm. We're relying on
Interesting.
supermarkets and
Mhm.
Do you know what?
So-
That's the thing, isn't it? With us, you've only got to have one sun flare. All of your computerization, everything else goes down, and we are stuffed. The banking system fails, a lot collapses.
there'll be a few
Right.
people in there.
Exactly.
God, that's
Done
an hour gone already.
It was good that this week was. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So, I hope you
And we
guys
still
enjoyed
don't
it as
know.
Well, thank you, Tim, for getting that one. That was a great one. Thank you. And Eric's turn to pick one next week. Eric, you going to pick one next week,
Yeah, I think so.
and then let everybody know what it is when you picked
I-
it.
No idea what it is yet. So
Okay. When Eric's picked one, he'll put it on the. You'll stick it on the notice board, won't you, as to what it is, or
put it up for.
we'll get other people. Well, you know what? We can probably get people to mention it in their talks. So
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow, Friday, we've got Nettie, Bri, and we've got Ian.
Yep.
And they're going to be doing Nettie. What's it called again? Sorry, I'm really sorry. What's your show called again? It's a bloody good show. And I've watched it for it's been on for 2 weeks now. I've watched both weeks.
Yeah,
Thanks, Viv.
I remember
Get some housework done, gang. Get that
Cheers,
polish out.
it.
So yeah, Astral Travel, Eric. So that's what Liam.
Yeah, that's
Thanks, Liam. Great for you to join in. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
right.
Freaky
Yeah,
Friday.
thanks everybody.
Nettie. So Nettie tomorrow is on with Freaky Friday. She's with the boys, Ian and Tim. Sorry, she's with the boys, Ian and Bri, and she's Nettie. She's the intelligent one, and she's the one that keeps them in line because they're terrible. She's got a referee and marshal them, otherwise I'll get out of hand. But join it tomorrow night. It's at 8 o'clock, I think. It's 8 o'clock. It's a
Yeah.
fantastic talk, fantastic show. I'm not just saying this, but I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And then I think William's on over the weekend as well at some point.
Saturday.
William's over on at the weekend. I'm not sure what he's got to show, but Paranormal Insights, I think his show's called, which is good. And then on Monday, we got The Voice in the Dark Mirror. That will be, obviously, that is Mark and Wayne. That's another good show that they'll be doing. They'll be talking about all things weird and wonderful from out there in space and what's going on and what is possibly on the planet from space. They'll be talking about that. And then on Tuesday, I'm not back, but you are back on Tuesday, Eric, aren't you?
Yeah.
And are you on Tuesday, Tim?
No,
You're not.
no, not next week. It's the week after. I think I'm on.
Oh, okay, cool. So Eric's got next Tuesday. What are you talking about next Tuesday? Is it voodoo? No, that's something else, isn't it?
Voodoo.
That's voodoo and hoodoo.
Yep.
That's what you're talking about, isn't it? So
Yep.
that's good. Nettie will be on that Tuesday. Nettie's on that Tuesday with Williams on that as well with Eric. And I think, is Mark on it with you?
I'm not sure. I have to look at the schedule again.
Okay, cool. And then on Wednesday, Simply Spooky's back, and it's me and Viv. Are you on the Wednesday, Eric?
Yeah.
William. It's William and Annette.
Yeah, William and Nettie. Oh, it's just you. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. So you're doing the voodoo and the hoodoo. Oh, so what are you doing then?
Mark is on too.
Oh, excellent. Good. And then Wednesday's myself and Viv. Have we got anybody with us on Wednesday, Viv, or is it just us lot chatting? Me, you, and Eric.
Yeah, it's me.
We want you on, William. We're going to get you on. We really would like to get you on.
Too. I'd like to talk. I'd love to talk to him.
Love to talk to William. Yeah, I'm waiting for Viv to get back to see what. I don't know if we've got. Just take it as we haven't got anybody on. But we are going to have a jolly good chat and sit down, and because we've got this weekend, me and Viv are off to with. Oh, it depends. Oh, yes, we're going to do a pre-record on Saturday with Richard. I can't think of the chap's. What's his second name? Do you know his second name, Eric?
Huh?
Richard's second name, the cryptozoologist guy.
Yep.
He's the world's leading cryptozoologist, so he'll be with us on a pre-record on Saturday. We'll see how that goes. We might be putting a pre-record on, but we'll be there in the chat anyway to talk to you and take some questions. Richard Freeman, thanks, Viv. So we've got Richard Freeman, the
Freeman
cryptozoologist. That's him. So that's that, and that'll bring you around then to the Thursday. Me and the boys are back, and we'll be talking about whatever Eric decides to pick, and then back to the Friday again. So we're back on schedule again. So there's lots of stuff out there. I think Grizz is back on, isn't he?
No, not yet. You weren't supposed to say that. But...
Oh, it doesn't matter. Anyway, somebody's back on. So yeah, so we've got lots and lots of stuff coming up. I don't know what's happening Friday. We did have somebody on Friday. I don't know what's happening with them. They've been obvious by their absence on Friday, so I don't know what's happening there. But yeah, so that's it. So let you all go. Oh yes, Tim's going Saturday as well, aren't you, Tim?
I'll be there.
There you go. So me, Tim, Viv, and Jay and Andy are off on a charabanc to a cryptozoology or a Bigfoot conference, which is going to be good. And yeah, Kelly, I'll let that out of the bag. Don't mention it. I think it's just between us and 40 people on here. I can't see anybody letting it go any further. So yeah, group what? Photos,
is that?
Photos?
I think that's what she means.
Yeah, it must be. I don't understand that, Viv. Sorry.
Greek Fox. Photos.
Photo. It must be photos, mustn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. We'll just go with that anyway. Photos. What? Yeah. In what context, Viv? It's good speaking to Viv like this because she can't shout at you or hit me like she normally does.
I don't think she's going to answer.
You waiting for her to come back?
Oh, and group farts in the car.
Farts.
That was, no, not you, Viv. Viv speaks to me like a drum.
No.
So yeah, thanks everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. We enjoyed having you here. I thoroughly enjoyed it. As I say, thanks again, Tim. That was a great one. Eric's going to pick one for next week. I'm sure that'll be great. And yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Lorna. I don't know. I can't. I'm getting old, aren't I, Lorna? I can't keep track of these things anymore.
I'm the oldest.
Right, everybody. Thanks ever so much. Speak to you next week or whenever.
Bye.
See you soon. Speak to you next week, guys. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.